Hey gamer, if you suck at Rocket League, you probably need a coach. And coaches are becoming more and more common in Rocket League as the game continues to get more competitive. And no matter how much you think you know about the game, you can always learn something new from a coach because they have a different perspective than you. The way I like to think about a Rocket League coach is like a different pair of eyes to catch some mistakes that you aren't aware you're doing. So it can be really good to get a Rocket League coach if you feel like your skill is kind of plateauing and you're not sure what to do to get better. But there are so many different coaches with different levels of experience, all at different price ranges. So I decided to do a little experiment where I hired both the cheapest and most expensive Rocket League coach to see their differences and whether or not the extra price is worth it. So for the first coach, I went on Fiverr, looked up Rocket League coach, and one of the first Grand Champs I saw was Dr. Charlos for only $5 for an hour of coaching. And the most expensive Rocket League coach I could find was Fireburner, whose coaching you can purchase on gamersready.com. He's a former pro, former coach of Cloud9, and he currently coaches version 1, which is an RLCS team. So he's a pro coach, and his price was $100 for an hour of coaching. I sent both coaches a replay, but I didn't send them my replay. I sent them a replay of Sunless Khan. Because if you guys subscribe right now, if we keep our subscriber rate how it is, we're gonna end up beating him on our race to 1 million subscribers. And that means Sunless owes us $1,000, which I'm gonna give to one of you guys the day I hit 1 million. So if you wanna be entered in that, fill out the Google form in the description after you subscribe to the channel. So hopefully we beat Sunless, but the least I could do for him was to buy him some Rocket League coaching. So hopefully Sunless gets better from this, and we can see which coach did a better job for their price. But before we get into it, here's a quick word from our sponsor, ExpressVPN. The internet is a place where you can pretty much do whatever you want, but it's not always safe to use. Because whether you like it or not, your ISP service and the government can keep track of your private conversations and anything else you do on the internet. And if a hacker gets on the same unencrypted Wi-Fi network as you, you can say goodbye to all your financial details and your passwords. But with ExpressVPN, you can easily encrypt and reroute your connection to an entire new location to keep your information safe. And as someone who's used ExpressVPN for almost a year now, I've never had an issue, and you literally just click a single button and you're 100% safe. Also, as most of us are at home right now, that means we all have some extra time on our hands. So for me personally, my favorite feature is that you can reroute your connection to a new country and watch Netflix, Amazon, or YouTube videos that you otherwise wouldn't be able to watch. So if this sounds interesting to you, use the first link in the description, go to expressvpn.com/musty to find out how you can get 3 months for free. It's available for download on iOS, Android, and on Windows, so check it out using the first link in the description, and let's get back into the video. Today, I'm just gonna be sending you one of Sunless Khan's replays, and you just have to, coach him to the best of your ability.
So it's just this one replay? Sweet. What rank is Sunless, by the way, do you know?
Low Grand Champ. Okay. This replay, he's like 1500 Grand Champ.
Okay. He's got a solid kickoff. Can't really complain about that, I feel like a kickoff is super important, especially being consistent up in the high ranks, but
yeah, for sure.
You know that speed flip from watching your videos, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah, he's doing good, applying pressure now.
Good 50, just stay on this. That 50 was good, but I think this 50, he didn't have to pinch this up. Could have stayed on this instead. By him pinching it, he just kind of giving him the ball. He kind of could have just kept it close to taking it up the wall instead.
Rotating, picking up pennies, it's good.
What are your thoughts about that shot?
I thought at first he messed up.
He realizes that guy misses the ball, and pretty much the whole left side of the net is open. Try to put it top left bins and secure that goal.
Yeah, and I feel like it just comes down to mechanical consistency at that point. He got close, but he couldn't get it.
Okay, so this is actually pretty common mistake I see with players. So if you see the way he's approaching it, he could open up his car way more. He drives in a straight line into the ball, so he makes the angle way tougher on himself. But he should have opened his car up a bit more, so that way he has more to shoot at, right? Because by him going straight at the ball like this, he has a little bit of a narrow angle. And he ends up messing it up completely. So he goes really wide, but he kind of made it harder on himself.
All right, so he's rotating back. Making a good, nice wide rotation, staying mid for the ball.
Passing, he should be going back, good. Fine, he's going mid.
All right, now he's rotating. There we go. That was good help for the defense. His defense was back in net. That cut right there, that's huge because that eliminates this guy in midfield just to rip a shot.
That's actually pretty good. I was gonna say at first he probably didn't need to cut into rotation here, but he ends up beating both of them. He catches them both off guard. It's just pretty decent.
Yeah, exactly. I like that coming from a coach, because I know a lot of people, they have this idea in their head where it's you always have to rotate behind your teammates, but there are situations high level where it's good to cut your teammates.
Yeah, so right here, you're rotating for the mid boost, and you can see his teammate in net is not quite in net. So this guy, if he can put on a good shot, I mean, you put it right side of the net, should be a goal. This here absolutely helps out the team on the defense, and if he makes a good clear, that third teammate picking up boost right now, he can, look for him and they can turn the ball the other way around. But yeah, this cutting in front of this ball right here, I mean, these guys, the other team, they probably can't see him. He's coming from the side, so it's a nice. All right, so lets his teammate take it. All right, goes to net, waits for the shot. All right, that's unlucky.
Teammate shouldn't have hit it back towards mid like that. Okay. So this in general about demos, honestly, like jumping over people is like so bad, I think. Like if you know someone's gonna demo you, you should not jump ever.
That worked back in 2016, not anymore.
Sunless should have just like kind of brake checked.
All right, so he flipped right there. I feel like that's what got him. He flipped and he put himself too far forward. Right here, I would have not flipped. Stayed probably behind half. Here he stays still.
Always got to be aware.
Always got to be aware. And I mean, yes, he could have tried to jump and dodge the demo, but I mean, a lot of people will, pick up on that. Yeah, you could see he tried to jump, but it was a little too late. Yeah, he was, standing still. You gotta always keep moving.
Okay. That's fine. You probably shouldn't have gone. I was about to say, you probably shouldn't have. Once he saw Scoober Duber go, Scoober Duber shouldn't have went for this really off the wall like that. I don't know.
All right, so he's turning on this ball. That's good, keeping the pressure. Picks up the demo.
Hey, bitch! What's up, bitch?
Interesting. Interesting.
They're lucky that their cars weren't flushed together, because I don't know who necessarily broke this 1v1, but somebody did.
Yeah, gravity broke it. Luckily, on this situation, there wasn't no one's going to jail today.
Okay, now they're in the one.
Oh yeah, what are your thoughts on that right there, Fireburner?
Did he break for one?
I don't know. It was one of those weird. I think
it's close.
Gravity kind of broke it a little bit.
Cool.
All right, so he's rotating all the way around, letting his teammate go, staying in net. Okay, so he gets demoed. I mean, not too much he can do there, but he probably could have applied pressure to that ball a little bit sooner once he realized his teammate was missing that.
Yeah, he didn't need to cheat up here. So he actually was in good position here going into net. So he's playing third man. He goes behind Scoober. So by Sunless pushing up, it makes it super awkward. Because now exactly what happens. Now he's like, he got caught out because he pushed up.
I mean, to be quite honest, his teammate should have connected, but it's unfortunate that he didn't. I mean, right there, this moment, I would have, maybe the guy still would have gotten the demo on him, but, definitely turned a little bit sooner.
What he should have done, he should have just played it safe, stayed on the goal line facing the ball, and then just played off of the 50.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point, too. Just think big picture. Even I'm learning stuff, man. Like, I kind of knew that, but the way you explained it was really well there. Like,
doesn't push up field. Okay, that makes sense. His other teammate wasn't back.
Ooh.
Accidentally bumps his own teammate. No bueno.
We got rammed. Okay, so this is fine for him to sheet up since he's ready for the pass. Okay, he doesn't need to jump off once he sees that who beat him to this. Right at this point, he should just be. He doesn't need to jump off the wall. He can just really drive back down and start rotating back.
All right, so now he's going for some fancy stuff. All right.
Yeah, he's trying.
Free jump. All right.
Sunless freestyler.
Once you realize that you can't do anything as first man, okay, I have to go back. I have to help out the team, not jump off the ceiling, go for whatever he was going for here. Because look how much time he just wasted by doing that.
Now I should try to make this clear. He's got a little bit of time. All right, right there, he definitely tried to either flick the ball up or pop it up. Probably should have, try to boot it off the side wall and make a play to himself.
He doesn't jump into it. Like when you're taking a 50 like this, you have to like try to at least kill the ball or like push it to a side. But by him like not jumping at all and like especially because he sees the ball bouncing, he kind of needs to get on top of the ball there.
All right, turns around. Definitely his ball. All right, that was good. Yeah, putting that to the left. That was smart.
Good job staying back. Okay, should pass it left. Good.
Sunless actually impressive.
I can tell he has the right ideas most of the time. Okay, should just be hovering his third. Good. Bang. There it is. See, yeah, that was really good by Sunless. His positioning there was perfect. He understood like when he couldn't do anything else, he just started rotating around his teammates, and then he was in a really good position because of that.
All right, making a wide rotate. That's good because that ball you won't be able to tell where that's gonna go off that 50.
Yeah, he got a lot of pads as well. Open net here.
Open net. Can he do it?
Let's go. Sunless come. I probably would have missed it.
Okay, so this. So this is a mechanical thing that I see a lot of people like have this problem, right? Problem was he was going too fast before he took off. You're not gonna get up as high as if you just like hit the brakes and then aerial.
All right, so he turned right when his teammate was on his right side. I probably wouldn't have done that. Maybe turn back around and pick up your back left boost.
From right here, he jumped for the ball. What do you think he should have done instead of jumping for the ball?
Right here, he should have half flipped, turned around, and tried to pick up that mid line of pennies and just sit in net because, yeah, this ball was coming in way too hot. Definitely want to stay on the ground in that situation and try to get into a much better position.
I can't tell what he tried to do. I think maybe he realized he didn't have boost for this. I think he should have just waited for the bounce. Like, he didn't need to bounce.
I think he played boost over ball there.
Yeah, but I think regardless, like,
so
he would have been fine even on 0 boost if he just waits for the bounce. But instead, he's like trying to get to it quickly.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Gets the boost. He's like, okay, damn, I couldn't get to that.
So right there, you can see that's a mistake that I would definitely call a lot of people out on. Ball over boost, I always say. Right here, you could have jumped up to try to go for the wall pinch, but slows down so you can try to get the boost and the bounce. And that's
I fall for that sometimes. It's so tempting, man. Yeah.
Oh,
so what do you think he should have done? Starting right here, you can read the bounce. He reads where the other player is. He reads where the boost is. He knows what's going on. What should he have done here?
He absolutely should have just gone straight for this ball. Go try to at least make the 50 or go for the pinch. In this situation, you absolutely need to go for the pinch, go for the 50. Try to get it in mid as best as you can, and forget about the boost.
He's pretty good at picking up pads on the way back, though. Boost manager. Okay. That was a little bit off. I think this is just shit flip, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. One of those weird bounces for sure. But what do you think he should have done differently here?
I think this is a mechanical thing. I mean, he was going straight into net. Ball's there for I think he didn't think the ball was gonna bounce outwards like that.
Oh no. Sunless.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this one. Pretty big mistake.
To be fair, that is an unfortunate bounce, but you can see that he turns towards the ball right there.
Okay, so what should he have done here instead of doing that then?
All right, so his teammate's probably going to rotate back to net. You can tell he's relying on the ball to roll down. Right here, I would have stayed more on the goal line to wait for the bounce. With a weird bounce like that, you got to wait for the bounce to happen and then rely off of, your intuition. And what I did notice, though, is it almost like the bounce made him hit his brakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so in this situation, especially at a high level in Grand Champ, you want to keep the speed, keep your momentum. If he was going faster, he could have got the ball at a lower point on the bounce.
And then right here, he's last man back. The pressure's on him. What do you think he should have done here?
So right here, he could have faked that.
Here, like, no one's rushing into him. He doesn't need to go 100 miles an hour into this. Even if he was to hit this, right? He doesn't need this. Because I think what he was going to do, he's just going to slam it into his own backboard. He doesn't need to do that at all because no one's on him.
He could have absolutely faked going for it, let the ball bounce, because you can see he had a little bit of time. Granted, this guy in the corner did apply pressure, but if he just faked that, turned towards mid, probably could have had a much better clear.
He would have just passed it out middle. So that's something you never want to do. You never want to slam it off your own backboard or off your own sidewall without being able to follow it up yourself, because then you're just passing it out middle to the other team.
Right here, he definitely, all right, so teammate went up for it.
Oh my. Okay.
To be fair to Sunless, teammate should not have gone up for that ball. He was in a sticky situation, and I think Sunless should have been up for this ball right about now, right after he crosses midfield.
Why is that Sunless should go up? When do you think Sunless should go up, and why?
So he's got 30 boost. Right after he picks up this penny, I'd say right now. Not like it's too high where it could go straight down or come out.
I don't know if he didn't expect him to actually get to it.
Yeah, Scooper always getting these weird hits, man.
Scooper's really always involved. But no, yeah, I think here it's another one of those instances, right? That's just you see him go, so you kind of just have to wait and see.
Definitely right here, because there's nobody in net coming out for it.
It's a little bit tricky because it's you always want to get involved into the play. You always want to go as fast as possible, but sometimes it really pays off just to slow it down and just kind of sit back and just see the play that's happening in front of you.
What I noticed about Sunless, which is very good, is every single time he comes back off of a demo, he knows
the pennies instead of the big boost.
Yes, absolutely. He picks up those 2 pennies in that arc.
What do you think about this play? Should he have pushed up? Should he have stayed back? Because he is last man back here.
I think he absolutely should have pushed up because his teammate was definitely making the 50 on that, and if he was paying attention, it's a 3-on-1 right there.
A little bit risky to push up like that as third man, instantly. It's a little bit, because it's one of those situations again, right? With Scooby and Root. If Root beats him to the ball, he hits it past him, now like, someone's responsible for that.
Yeah, definitely risky. But if he was second man in rotation, you're saying like that would be more viable to push up for.
Okay, so he's gonna meet this guy up top. Gets beat.
Okay, so he's 3 boosts, just stay on the backboard, that's fine. He actually played that well. Since he's low boost, he can't really be useful in that. But as soon as the ball gets past him, he shouldn't really be staying on that. Because he sees that Scooby, you can tell that he has boost.
Turns around, teammate is kind of out of position right there. All right, so he has 18 boost at this point. He can get up for that. Try to meet that ball at the backboard. Because his teammate's underneath that ball. He's not getting to that.
But I think Sunless's positioning is a little bit awkward. So Sunless's position here, and this sort of scenario is fine, right? Because he's facing the ball, right? He can just aerial and get up to it, right? But as soon as he's like turning like this sideways, now he's not facing the ball at all. This becomes super awkward for him.
Oh, triple commit.
Play. Uh-oh. Oh, everybody misses. All right. Gets bumped.
Oh man, triple. Okay.
Triple commit. Hey! Oh my god. That's Grand Champ for you.
Goes up for it.
Hey,
Nice.
That gets a goal.
That was good positioning right there. You can see he shadowed that, and you know, he turns around right here. He sees his teammate, goes for it.
Okay, so he ends up going back, which is good. He goes for the shot, bang. Yeah, this was actually pretty good. So he recognizes, I think Sunless understood here that this became like super awkward once Scooby pushed up, because now the ball's like kind of like chilling in the corner and nothing's happening. So you see that he's like starting to turn back to net to realize that, okay, nothing's really happening. But then once Scooby wins that 50 and it looks like it's going to be an opportunity, then he starts turning around and goes for the shot. So it's actually like pretty good understanding and reading of the play there by Sunless.
You're speaking to Sunless right now. After you watch this replay, like give him 1 or 2 things just from this replay you think he could have done better, or like something. If he does X, then he'll get higher up in rank or something.
One is he seems not confident with himself. Confidence is huge because in one of the they didn't score, but in one of the plays he tapped his brakes and slowed down. Being confident, not hesitating, keeping the momentum is definitely something that I think he needs to work on, and that's something that everybody needs to work on, you know.
I think Sunless needs to, improve on his like aerial mechanic mostly. I think his fast aerial is a little bit weak. I think I can tell Sunless has a good understanding, mostly his rotation. I think his rotation is the strongest part of his game. He really needs to like read the play a little bit more, like just be a little bit more patient. Other than that, I mean, he seemed pretty solid all around. I think it's just like, he needs to pull back. He needs to pull back on his stick more.
Yeah. Come on, Sunless.
Like, that's good enough. And then just stop, because then it turns really horizontal.
So that's how the sessions went, and one thing I noticed towards the beginning of the session with Dr. Charlos is that he was really inexperienced.
You know, lower ranked kids, basically it's always teaching them how to half flip, try to air dribble, you know. Low plat, want me to teach them how to flip reset or just ceiling shot, and you know. I
had to ask him a lot of questions in order for him to break the plays down, while Fireburner was the exact opposite, where I rarely even had time to talk because he went so in depth. So 100%, I think we can all agree Fireburner did a better job, which was definitely expected as he's more than 20 times the price of Dr. Charlos. But I have to say Charlos for only $5 is within way more people's budgets, and overall he did a pretty decent job explaining things, and most of his information was correct and it can definitely help. But there were some things Fireburner said that directly contradicted Charlos, and because Fireburner is a pro coach and he's worth so much, he's definitely easier to agree with because he has so much experience. But overall, both coaches did a really good job for their price, and this video really isn't meant to make one coach look better or worse than the other. It was just a little experiment, and hopefully Sunless sees this video and gets better from it. By the way, both coaches' links will be in the description if you want to check them out. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, so make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.